Well, last night, the Celtics snapped a three-game losing streak, and Kyrie Irving was masterful. 27 points, career high, 18 points. He walked the walk after doing a whole lot of talking, and then after the game, he did some more talking about a particular phone call he had with his former teammate.
I had to call Bron, and tell him, I apologize for being that young player that wanted to everything at his fingertips, and I wanted everything to be at, my threshold. I wanted to be the guy that led us to championship. I wanted to be the leader. I wanted to be all that, and the responsibility of being the best player in the world and leading a team is something that's not meant for many people. And Bron was one of those guys that came to Cleveland and tried to really show us what it's like to win a championship, and it was hard for him.
Don Kenny, it's our weekly visit with Shaquille O'Neal, who knows something about teammates breaking up, very famously. What do you take of Kyrie talking about and telling the world about the conversation he had with LeBron?
I think it was big of him to let the world know he was thinking, but a lot of times stuff like that you should keep to yourself. I think the problem with most of us, especially when we're in our prime, we don't have enough time because of our egos to just sit down and have a conversation. Especially when you got all the other outside factors. Like, I hate hearing whose team is it. Is it Keem's team? Is it Kenny's team? Like, that right there would break. Rather than, having a conversation. Once me and him had that conversation, come to me at the beginning of the game. I'm probably not going to be hitting free throws in the fourth quarter. You do what you do in the fourth quarter. I'll rebound, I'll set picks and get you up. So once you have that conversation and stop worrying about whose team is it or who does this and who does that, because believe it or not, and Kenny knows this, you're not going to win the championship without the others. So, like, you could average 20, 30 there, but if you don't have the others hitting 9 threes and hitting the clutch three when Penny Hardaway jumps at the pump fake, you're not going to win the championship anyway. So everybody just has to play their role. Who cares who's getting the most credit? Like, when I first came in, I wanted to be the man, but guess what? Mike, Barkley, Malone, David Robinson, sometimes you just got to, wait your turn. But be careful what you ask for, because when you want to be the man, you better be able to control it and, be able to handle it. But again, it was, commendable for him to say, I apologize and all that. But some of that stuff you just, have to keep to yourself.
Yeah, I agree with keeping it to yourself. It doesn't benefit. I'm not sure who it benefits by being exposed now. I'm not sure. But being an other, so to speak, you respect the guy when he's not trying to be the guy.
Right.
Because you have more of the offensive load doesn't really make you the guy either. Because you get 30 doesn't really make you the guy. It just what you do around it, how you lead, how your work ethic, what you don't say, that makes you the guy. So because if a guy had averaged 20 rebounds a game, does that make him the guy?
Right. Every situation is different, right?
It does, right. So what it is your respect comes from your work ethic and what you, most of the time, what you don't say. And then everyone starts to say, he's the guy. You don't have to say it.
Funny you mentioned respect.
And the problem with Boston is a very simple fix. Very simple fix. Kyrie, as a leader, should come in and say, I realize I saw what you did last year, and I want you to do that. Don't hold back from me. I want you to do that. When I get you the ball, do what you did last year. I'm going to do what I do. Now you got two powerhouses playing. See, the problem is these guys, they're like, hey, we can play. Now that Kyrie and, the other guys back, you want us to go back, and they don't want to go back, and they shouldn't go back. But Kyrie, as the leader, he should make it easy for himself. It was easy for me, rather than try to shoot through the double, kick it to Horace. Horace Grant going to hit that wide open 15-footer 7 out of 10 times. It makes it easier for Kyrie, so he don't have to dribble and, try to get 27 every night. If you got young guys that want to roll, get it to them.
How do you Shaquille broke it down before we go into Diesel Dunks so simply. He broke it down one night. He's like, well, how do you get 30 points? You get 6 points a quarter. You get 6 points a quarter. That's 24, and you get to the free throw line. That's it. You got to make 3 baskets in a quarter. That's it. If you're a great player, you should be able to get 3 baskets every quarter, and then get to the free throw line and get
a quarter. You don't
right.
need to get 30 in a quarter.
That's it. All right.